Hello students, welcome to Exam B that makes you learn 50% faster. I'm your host Anshuman, your English faculty. So students, आज का हम एक सेशन करेंगे वर्ड स्वैपिंग पर बेस्ड। ठीक है, आप सबको पता है कि वर्ड स्वैपिंग क्या होता है। ये जो एक टाइप है क्वेश्चन का, इसमें आपको एक सेंटेंस प्रोवाइड किया जाता है। राइट नाउ दिस कैन बेस्ड ऑन अ डिफरेंट पैटर्न। इसमें एक सेंटेंस भी होता है, दो सेंटेंस भी होते हैं। लाइक आई शो यू फॉर एग्जांपल, सो हियर इज वन क्वेश्चन इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. So you can see that there is a statement provided in front of you, and there are four words emboldened within this statement, right? You can see expectations, created, independence, and criticism. Now, right? So these are, now there are letters against them, right? A, B, C, and D. Now these emboldened words may or may not be in their correct position, and your job or your task is to check the same if the words are in their correct position, if the sentence is forming a good meaning, right? Or if the sentence is not grammatically correct. Why? Because the words, the emboldened words, are not in their correct positions, right? So your task is to find that and then try to find the possible replacement of the words, right? That means you need to swap the words then. So let's do the first question. So let's read it, the sentence. There is a huge expectations of the Indian Police Service, which was created immediately after the independence with great criticism. Okay, so let's check the first word. There is a huge expectations. Now see, the sentence is saying that there is a huge. अब huge यानी कुछ एक बहुत बड़ा है, तो वो क्या हो सकता है? ठीक है, यानी it should be a noun, right? So yeah, it can be expectations, right? It can be expectations, but we are not sure whether it is actually or not. We are going to see it later. Of the Indian Police Service, which was created. Now here we need a verb, right? Which was, right? So which was dash immediately, right? Because here we have an adverb. Now what should come here? Okay, that should qualify, right? So here we have adverb. Now we need a verb that this adverb is defining, right? So we need a verb here. Now let's check. Expectations is not a verb, criticism is not a verb, and independence is not a verb. Hence, this word that is created, it is in its correct position. We do not need to change created, right? Which means that B is correct, right? The position of the word be is correct. And if one word is in its correct position, then that means the other word has to also be in its correct position. So let's read it. Which word is it? Immediately after the independence with great criticism. Now, which was created immediately after what? Now, what was that time period? So it must show a time period, right? Or it can show some achievement, right? Or a task which was completed. So independence suggests that a time period or an achievement. So C is also in its correct position, right? So we do not need to change B or C because these are in their correct positions, right? So we will not touch B or C. That means now we need to see A and D. So if it is like this, if you read the sentence as it is written already, there's a huge expectations of the Indian Police Service, which was created immediately after the independence with great criticism. Now, what does it mean that it is created or it was created immediately after the independence with great criticism, right? Something is created with criticism doesn't sound good enough, right? So let's replace it, right? So we are going to swap the words. We are going to place expectations at the end, right? And we will place criticism in the beginning, right? So at the beginning. So there is a huge criticism of the Indian Police Service, right? Now we get to know that the Indian Police Service, okay, people are criticizing it or it is being criticized because of certain factors. Now we're talking about that Indian Police Service which was created immediately after the independence with great expectations. Now this somewhere makes a sense. What we are saying is कि वो इंडियन पुलिस सर्विस जो आजादी के बाद बना था उसकी अब काफी क्रिटिसिज्म हो रहा है या उसको काफी क्रिटिसाइज किया जा रहा है, ठीक है। वो इंडियन पुलिस सर्विस जो आजादी के बाद काफी एक्सपेक्टेशंस के साथ बना था, यानी इंडियन पुलिस सर्विस को काफी एक्सपेक्टेशंस के साथ बनाया गया आजादी के बाद, लेकिन वही अब क्या बहुत क्रिटिसिज्म फेस कर रहा है। तो देखिए व्हाट वी डिड, वी स्वेप्ट ए एंड डी, right? So can we see? Yeah, only A and D. So our correct option would be only A. That is, we are going to swap the words A and D with each other, right? Okay. So let's move to next question now. So here's the next question. Okay, so see. The National Council of Educational Textbooks and Training has decided to drop Mughal chapters on the certain empire from research. Okay, so let's check. The National Council of Educational. The National Council of Educational what? And Training, right? Educational textbooks. Okay, so let's check. What here, textbooks doesn't make a sense. Educational textbooks, no. Education should be something, it should be an activity, right? A part of your curriculum or academics, right? Or we can say a development, right? So, educationals, what if we place Mughal here? Educational Mughals and trainings? It's nonsense, right? Uh, educational certain, again, no, because certain is what? Certain is an adjective here, right? So research should replace the word textbook, right? Now it makes sense. The National Council of Educational Research, right? So we are going to write research here. So the National Council of Educational Research and Training. Now it makes sense that what is that council? The council belongs to educational research and training. Now what it has decided? It has decided to drop certain chapters. Now we need a adjective here. Now Mughal chapters on the certain empire doesn't make any sense. It makes obvious that we need to replace it with each other. We are talking about, like certain kind of chapters here, right? We are talking about particular chapters. So Mughal should be replaced by what? Certain, right? And now we're talking about a particular empire, for example, British Empire, right? So in the same way, Mughal Empire. So instead of certain, it should be Mughal. Mughal Empire from where? From textbooks. Now we need a source here. The where should it be dropped from, right? So it should be textbooks. Now it makes some sense by saying the National Council of Educational Research and Training has decided to drop certain chapters on the Mughal Empire from textbooks, right? So what we saw that B and C, right? B and C, they replaced each other, and then we have A and D. Yeah. So A and D and B and C. So a correct option would be option C, right? Okay, let's move to next question. See, there need to be things, action to end control slogans and provocative speech before strong go out of hate. Now this is a very easy question. बहुत ही आसान सा ये question है, ठीक है? Grammatically आप जब देखते हैं, see, one thing is this, जो बहुत ही एक first step होना चाहिए question को solve करते हुए, you solve the questions through parts of speech. You try to find कि कौन सा पार्ट ऑफ स्पीच, ठीक है, एक जगह पर लगना चाहिए, उसके हेल्प से आप फाइंड आउट कर देते हैं कि कौन सा वर्ड यहाँ पर फिट होना चाहिए। देखिए, देयर नीड टू बी थिंग्स, एक्शन। देखिए, एक्शन क्या है? एक्शन एक नाउन है, तो यहाँ पर हमें एक एडजेक्टिव चाहिए, राइट? बट थिंग्स इज नॉट एन एडजेक्टिव, थिंग्स इज अ नाउन इटसेल्फ, right? So there need to be what? There need to be action, but what kind of action? Can it be control action? No, control is not a adjective. Hate action, okay, hateful can be but not hate, right? So it should be strong action. right? So here, the strong, it should come here, right? So strong action. Now it makes some sense that what kind of a action? Strong action. So it is an adjective. To end, right? To end what? Slogans. Again, what? What kind of a slogans? We need adjective here. So is control an adjective? No, right? Strong has been already done. Now, things an adjective? No. Hate is an adjective here, right? So hate slogans, right? So to end hate slogans, what kind of slogans? Hate slogans, right? And provocative speech before go out. What does go out? Now we have things and control, right? So before what goes out, things go out, right? Control cannot go out. Things have to go out, right? Out of what? Out of things? No, out of control. यानी इससे पहले चीजें कंट्रोल से बाहर निकल जाए, हमें जो स्लोगन्स हैं उन पर हमें क्या करना है? स्ट्रॉन्ग एक्शंस लाने हैं, ठीक है? सो वी सी हाउ द स्वैपिंग हैज बीन डन. सी, there needs to be a strong action, right? And to hate, to end hate slogan, right? So what did we do? We brought C to A and A to C, right? So A, C, in the option we have A to C, right? And then we have A to C and then B to D, right? Control and hate. So B to D. So this is our correct option. Option A is our correct. Okay, let's move to next question. See, tribals who have inhabited small portions of villages for sustainable living in some of the non-scheduled tribe land and hamlets predominantly cultivating by PVTGs are now a threatened lot. Right? So tribals who have been inhabited small portions, who have been inhabited. The sentence structure doesn't look good, right? Because we have this structure or this part of sentence is an active voice. Now with have been, there should be verbs first form and plus ing. But we have inhabited, past participle. So what is the verb here? Villages is the noun, land is a noun, so the remaining is cultivating. So cultivating is a noun here. So let's play cultivating here. Now cultivating what? Cultivating small portions of what? Villages. We don't cultivate village, we cultivate land, right? हम land पर क्या करते हैं? उस पर काम करते हैं, उस पर हम जो बोने का काम है, सब्जियां उगाना, फल उगाना, ये सब हम क्या करते हैं? लैंड पर करते हैं, जमीन पर करते हैं, खेत में करते हैं, ठीक है? सो लैंड शुड बी हियर. Now, for sustainable living in some of the non-scheduled tribe what? Non-scheduled tribe what? Villages. ठीक है, अब देखिए जब दोनों रिप्लेस हो चुके हैं तो आपको पता है कि यहां पर फिर villages आएगा, right? And hamlets predominantly और यहाँ पर आपका inhabited आएगा, right? Now it makes some sense. Tribal who have been cultivating small portions of land for sustainable living in some part of non-scheduled tribe villages and hamlets predominantly inhabited by PVTGs are now a threatened lot, right? So let's check. हम लोगों ने क्या किया? हम लोगों ने चारों वर्ड्स को स्वैप किया, है ना? So इनहेबिटेड हम लोग ले गए लास्ट में डी में और कल्टीवेटिंग को हम लोग ले गए ए में, दैट मींस ए एंड डी, राइट? तो ये रहा आपका ए एंड डी और फिर बी और सी. लैंड को हम लोग ले गए सी में और विलेजेस को, ठीक है, और लैंड को हम लोग ले गए कहां पर? यहाँ पे. तो विलेज एंड लैंड को हमने क्या किया? स्वैप किया. सो बी और सी ये आपका रहा. सो अ करेक्ट ऑप्शन वुड बी ऑप्शन ए, बोथ ए डी एंड बी सी. चलिए एक और क्वेश्चन हम देखते हैं. Notion that government fraud is inimical to the institution of an educational functioning is control. Right? So the notion that government fraud is inimical to the institution of an educational functioning is a control. See, the meaning of the word inimical is something that is unfriendly, right? Or something that is harmful, something that is not good for one, right? So the notion that, what kind of a notion or what kind of an assumption, right? What kind of a perception that government what? Flawed. Flawed is inimical. Flawed is an incorrect word, right? What is inimical? There has to be what? Some verb here or something, some noun or a verb, right? So control would make a sense here. Government control. That is, it is said that there is a notion कि जो गवर्नमेंट का कंट्रोल है वो इनमिकल है, यानी वो लोगों को बहुत अनफ्रेंडली लगता है या एक ऐसा लगता है कि इट इज नॉट गुड फॉर देम और नॉट in their interest, right? Not in their interest, or it is inimical to what, right? To the functioning, okay, functioning of an educational institution. So this will go here, institution, right, is flawed. Now it makes some sense. The notion that government control is inimical to the functioning of an educational institution is flawed. Flawed means something that has a flaw, something that is not right, है ना? So question ये कह रहा है, statement ये कह रहा है कि जो notion है, ठीक है, या जो एक assumption है या एक perception है कि government का जो control है, ठीक है, वो नहीं ठीक है किस चीज के लिए, या वो बाधा डाल सकता है, प्रॉब्लम कर सकता है जो क्या है फंक्शनिंग में किस चीज की, एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन की, ये जो नोशन है ये एक गलत नोशन है। तो इस तरीके से ये हमने क्या किया, स्वैपिंग की। तो अभी हम देखेंगे, देखिए कंट्रोल को हम यहां पर लेके आ गए ए में, है ना, और फ्लॉट को हम लास्ट में ले गए। सो ए डी तो ये रहा, और बी सी को, और बी की जगह यानी इंस्टीट्यूशन की जगह हम लोग क्या लेके आ गए, फंक्शनिंग, और फंक्शनिंग की जगह इंस्टीट्यूशन, यानी बी और सी को हमने किया। सो ए डी एंड बी सी, दैट इज ऑप्शन सी इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन। So that's all. Thank you so much, friends. So ये कुछ questions किए थे हमने word swapping पर based, ठीक है? So please do like the video and take care. See you in our next video. Bye bye.